Jack Hermansson versus Kelvin Gastelum just took place in the co-main event of UFC Fight Night Fight Island 2, Figueiredo versus Benavidez 2, and what an amazing performance by the Joker. Jack Hermansson earning himself the first round submission victory. I predicted him to win by first round submission, so thank you, Jack Hermansson, for making me look really, really clever. Gets the submission in the first round against Kelvin Gastelum. I believe it was a heel hook. Gets the heel hook submission in the first round. Before that, it was all Jack Hermansson as well. It's not like Kelvin Gastelum was winning the fight and then Jack Hermansson just caught him in a submission. Jack Hermansson was doing decently okay on the feet for as much as we can say anyway, because that fight didn't last long whatsoever. There wasn't much to really analyse. But Jack Hermansson was doing okay, landed a few front kicks, landed a good kick here and there, eventually getting the clinch and taking down Kelvin Gastelum, trying to take down Kelvin Gastelum. In fact, credit to Kelvin Gastelum, reversed the takedown, used the momentum of Jack Hermansson, ended up on top. But from there, Kelvin Gastelum should have broke away from the ground, because this is Jack Hermansson we're talking about, and no one gives Jack Hermansson the credit he deserves. And I don't understand why that is. The guy took a fight with Jacare Souza on a week's notice and annihilate him in every aspect of the game. I know Jacare Souza had some success in that fight towards the later rounds, but that, fair enough, could maybe only be attributed because Jack Hermansson took that fight on a week's notice. If he had a full camp for the Jacare fight, there might not even be a close fifth round. Jack Hermansson went out there and completely dominated Kelvin Gastelum, and some people will say, he just caught him in a submission. But what success did Kelvin Gastelum have? Jack Hermansson gets it done by first round submission. Fair enough, he caught him in a decent leg submission, a heel hook. Very good. That sometimes happens in MMA, but that's on Kelvin Gastelum. You can't be on the ground or in the grappling situations with Jack Hermansson. He's a better version of Chris Weidman, with maybe better stand-up and probably a better chin as well. Kelvin Gastelum lost. Unfortunate, I picked Hermansson to win by first round submission. I'm very happy with the result because it was by first round submission. However, I'm not happy because even though Hermansson won and made me look really genius, I don't like seeing Gastelum lose. He's a young guy in the sport. He's still got a career in the sport, but this is 3 losses in a row. And although they are not to slouches, this is what you get when you take on top competition. If Darren Till had lost to Kelvin Gastelum, it doesn't matter that he lost to Kelvin Gastelum. That's still 3 losses in a row. Even if it is Woodley, Masvidal and Gastelum, 3 losses in a row is never a good position to be in. And Kelvin Gastelum is in that position right now. And I just want to get this off my chest. Darren Till scathed by Kelvin Gastelum. Israel Adesanya got by Kelvin Gastelum. He had a lot of trouble in that fight, and maybe if Kelvin Gastelum didn't shoot for that fucking stupid ass takedown after cracking Adesanya with a head kick, we wouldn't be seeing Adesanya as a champion. But Gastelum shot for that takedown, lost himself the fight from that second onwards. Unfortunate, but Hermansson just went out there and completely annihilated him. First round, no contest. No competition whatsoever. Hermansson went out there with a cut under his eye, and it didn't even get opened up in the fight. Imagine how happy Hermansson must be feeling. He was going in there with an open cut under his eye that is just healed, scar tissue ready to be opened up straight away. Very risky to take a fight with a cut around your eye. Fair enough, it was under his eye, so it wasn't exactly going to drip into his eye and affect the stoppage of a fight, but still, an open wound on his face. Probably nervous about it opening up in the middle of the contest and affecting the judging maybe, or affecting his vision, or just no one likes blood on their face anyway. That can't be a nice feeling, but still, he goes out there and he doesn't even open it up. Success for Jack Hermansson, getting the job done, planned his entire move throughout the division, says he wants the winner of Whittaker versus Till. Probably not going to happen if Darren Till wins. I assume if Darren Till beats Robert Whittaker, they're going to jump at every opportunity they can, especially if Adesanya beats Costa, to make Whittaker versus Adesanya, because that's the real money fight in the middleweight division. But Jack Hermansson called his shot. If Whittaker beats Till, that's a good thing for Jack Hermansson. Who knows if Whittaker's going to be getting a title shot right away. I doubt it if Adesanya beats Costa. If Costa beats Adesanya, things get a little bit tricky. But still, Jack Hermansson is in a very good position right now. I would imagine the middleweight rankings right now stand as Israel Adesanya at number 1. Robert Whittaker Israel Adesanya is champion. Robert Whittaker is number 1. Paulo Costa is number 2. Jared Cannonier is number 3. Romero at 4, Till at 5, Hermansson at 6. I would imagine they're going to shift Romero below Till. Till's going to stay at 5, and Hermansson's just earned himself that number 4 spot, because whether you like it or not, Romero's lost his last 3 fights as well, even if they were close. The losses speak for themselves. Hermansson he's destroyed good guys as well in the division. In David Branch, who was a top 10 guy at the time, destroyed him in the first round by submission. Beat Jacare Souza and annihilated him over 5 rounds, in my opinion, potentially winning 4 rounds to 1 on a week's notice. Jacare was top 10 at the time. Now he's just gone out there. I know he had a rough time with Jared Cannonier, but remember that Jared Cannonier fight? He was winning. Cannonier lands a perfect uppercut as Hermansson goes in for a takedown. Shit happens, Hermansson. It's going to be okay. Picks himself back up. Beats another top 8 guy in Kelvin Gastelum. He's in a very good position right now, I believe, though. He's in the position to take on the winner of Edmund Shabazian versus Derek Brunson. I wouldn't say that Hermansson's going to get the winner of Whittaker versus Till now. It could happen. I just don't think that the UFC is going to be too quick to give Hermansson an immediate title elimination bout after this. I imagine they will do him versus the winner of Shabazian versus Brunson. I think he could probably beat the winner of Shabazian versus Brunson, which probably could be Shabazian, because if you remember in the Darren Stewart fight with Edmund Shabazian, Darren Stewart is not a good grappler, but somehow understands the concepts of grappling. And he managed to give Edmund Shabazian a very difficult fight, taking him to split decision. Now, I thought Shabazian won that fight pretty clearly. It was a close fight. If Darren Stewart can make it close, Jack Hermansson's just a different beast. He's a better version of Weidman. I know people are going to say after my first comment on this video that, you can't say that. You can't say that Hermansson beats Adesanya because Adesanya made Gastelum look close. I understand that there's completely different styles. Hermansson was always going to beat Kelvin Gastelum. When he opened as a fucking underdog in this fight with Kelvin Gastelum, I was shocked. I immediately put money on him. By first round submission. I didn't get the money back because I lost my parlay thanks to Mark fucking Jacasey. Really fucking annoying. Bone Crusher, more like the Parlay Crusher. I don't like his nickname anymore. He needs to change that real quick. I could have made some good money. First round submission for Hermansson. I thought it was almost common sense. Hermansson is just a 10 times better version of Weidman. Styles make fights. Hermansson was always going to beat Gastelum. It's unfortunate. Gastelum's now on a 3-fight losing streak. I think he should go to 170. If his knee's ripped apart, I know there's going to be some problems there, but maybe his knee is not completely shredded to bits. I know he's banned from going down to 170, but if you're telling me that Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley gets announced in September, I don't even know, I'm going to come up with a random number, September 26th. If that's when Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley happens, if you're telling me that if Kelvin Gastelum went up to Dana White and said, hey Dana, I know I'm banned from 170, but I reckon I could make it if I get my nutrition right, give me one last chance, and I want to fight Robbie Lawler as the co-main event of Woodley versus Covington on September the 26th. I'm healthy, I didn't take any damage, he didn't tear apart my knee. All things considered, we need all these things to happen. Hopefully there's no injury there that's going to keep Gastelum off for 6 months. But still, I'm sure Dana White would entertain that idea. Gastelum versus Lawler at 170? Sign me up. That's an amazing bout. I would love to watch it any day. Even if Gastelum wanted to come down and be Damian Maia's retirement fight in Brazil. Gastelum's no slouch and no stranger for going over to Brazil and fighting their hometown guys like Jacare Souza. He fought Jacare Souza in Brazil. He was supposed to be fighting Anderson Silva in Brazil. He KO'd Vitor Belfort in Brazil as well. He's done it a couple times. I'm sure he'll do it again. But Jack Hermansson's just too much for him. Easy submission. Immediate leg lock. To be fair, Gastelum's defense was not top 10 UFC level. He needed to be a little bit more urgent. I don't think he even realised that he could be submitted by Jack Hermansson. I don't think he recognised the game of Hermansson as much as maybe he should have, and I don't think he maybe gave him the respect he deserved because he was way too relaxed in that leg lock. Way too relaxed, and immediately Hermansson just snapped up the heel hook, got it done. Great performance. I want to see Hermansson versus the winner of Shabazian versus Brunson. I want to see Gastelum versus Lawler or Maia at 170. I'm done seeing him at 185 because I've said this about Kelvin Gastelum. Name a guy in their prime that Kelvin Gastelum has beaten. I'm not going to stop picking against him. Picked against him with Darren Till. Darren Till was a huge underdog. Got it right. Picked against him now with Hermansson. Hermansson started as an underdog. People put all their money on him because they realised what a bad underdog that was. He was definitely supposed to be the favourite there, and he actually, I believe, opened as the favourite on the moment that the fight started. He was a favourite. Like, that just shows you how much the odds were wrong there. I just feel as though He hasn't beaten a single guy in their prime, has Kelvin Gastelum. Look at all of his wins. Nate Marquardt, Jake Ellenberger. Those are all back in the day. Lost to Tyron Woodley when Woodley was in his prime. Lost to Neil Magny when Magny was close to his prime as well. Somewhere in that prime level. Okay? Lost to him there. Lost to Darren Till when Darren Till was in his prime and yet to get to his prime. Lost to Jack Hermansson when he was in his prime. Israel Adesanya when he was in his prime. Beat Bisping a week after Bisping got almost knocked out and choked out by GSP in the same time. Beat Vitor Belfort post-USADA. Beat Tim Kennedy. No prime fighters. No prime fighters whatsoever on Kelvin Gastelum's record. You can go through all of them. There isn't one. It's tough. It's tough to beat Gastelum right now. You've got to move down to 170. They're too damn big. And if they can grapple, they're going to. And they're going to do what Hermansson did. And there's only going to be another savage on the come up. Khamzat Chimaev is probably going to make a run for himself at middleweight. And that could be real problems. Even though he might be going down to welterweight soon. You never know what could happen. And I don't want to see Gastelum at middleweight anymore. He's too small. The grapplers are going to get him. The strikers he can hang with. He can hang with the strikers. Grapplers are too big. That's where the size advantage really matters. Okay? When the size advantage matters is when you're grappling. When someone's on top of you. I don't care if someone's got 10 pounds on me if they're jabbing me in the face. I really couldn't give a shit. If someone's on top of me, or someone's on the ground with me, or someone's yanking on a leg, and they've got an extra 10 pounds of muscle on me, big problemo. And that's what Kelvin Gastelum saw. It's unfortunate. It sucks seeing Gastelum lose, but I predicted this to happen. Really, really sucks for Gastelum, but Hermansson gets it done. Hermansson gets it done. Amazing performance. Amazing performance. Flawless. Flawless. He would have stolen the show if Figueiredo didn't go on to fucking humiliate Benavidez in the main event. He would have stolen the show if there wasn't a main event like that where Figueiredo just completely molested Joseph Benavidez for millions to watch. Great performances from both of them. I hope they both win performance bonuses. Great. Co-main event, main event. Both quick finishes in the first round and utter dominance. I say give them both a bit of a bonus. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Great job, Jack Hermansson, making me look really clever. I appreciate you. Click that button there. Good. Bye.